Good morning, Twitch. Good morning, Twitch. Good morning, Twitch. On this 07.31.2023, current time is 06:28 a.m. Eastern Time here in Upstate New York, the southern tier of Upstate New York where I live and reside on this Monday here in the southern tier of Upstate New York. Rich Roberts, Fireman Rich, here on the Twitch, and I know I'm late. I'm an hour late as far as that goes, but we are here nonetheless, as I like to say all the time. And I'm getting all my my gadgets and doodads together here, and I just posted it out. I slept in. I slept in. I woke up and I'm like, oh my god, it's like 10 to 6 and stuff. So it takes me about 15 20 minutes to set this all up as far as what I want to present and all that. And I've got a new piece of hardware here that I'm trying to bring up my channel, my tablet, which let's see if I can bring that up here. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. Let's see. We'll put the chat.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Oh,
there we go.
I got to turn the volume down on that. Okay, let me turn.
Oh, there we go. I got to turn the volume down on that.
Okay, let's turn the volume down. Okay, the volume's down on that. We're good to go there, and we're off for run. I hope everybody's having a hashtag positive start to the day. Hashtag PSTTD. I've got the morning coffee, my first cup here. Running late. I know, last day of the month, and I'm running late here as far as that goes. And but we are, like I said, going nonetheless as far as, and we're looking pretty good here on the. And I hope everybody had a good weekend. I did. I'll be going over that here in a little bit. Coffee is tasting mighty fine. Let's see. Currently here in the southern tier of Upstate New York, it's 54 degrees Fahrenheit, which equates to 12 degrees Celsius. Good morning, Tony. Sorry that I'm late. Salute to you, sir. Hashtag positive start to the day. Hashtag PSTTD. And the missus says good morning. And glad to have you here. I wonder if I can make that bigger. No, I guess it doesn't go bigger. Okay, that's no problem. But let's see. Yeah, 54 degrees Fahrenheit, 12 degrees Celsius on the Celsius scale. We're going to have sunshine this morning, scattered thunderstorms developing this afternoon. High is 78, or high is 76. So we had a cool day yesterday. We had the windows open all day yesterday, which was great. Winds out of the northwest, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance of rain, 40%. Possibly. Sun already rose here at 5:58. Coming up on like 45 minutes ago or so. 5:48 or 5:58. Okay, I'm sorry. So that's 32, about 35 minutes ago. So we're running a little late there. Sun will be setting here in the southern tier of Upstate New York at 8:27 a.m. And our world times and temperatures: Honolulu, Hawaii at 12:32 a.m. this morning. Currently partly cloudy, partly clear, 79 degrees Fahrenheit. Phoenix, Arizona at 3:32 a.m. Clear skies, 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Cool in Phoenix. That's good. Good to see that. It's been freaking hot. It'll probably get hot today anyway, but it's good to see that the morning temperatures are a little bit cooler for them out there, even if it is 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Albuquerque, New Mexico, clear skies at 4:32 a.m. 66 degrees Fahrenheit. Chicago, Illinois, 5:32 a.m. Partly cloudy, partly clear, 64 degrees Fahrenheit. New York City, the jungle, at 6:32. Clear skies, clear and sunny, 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Down there in Warner Robins, Georgia, where Tony D is at, he's reporting or informing us that it's 72 degrees Fahrenheit and 94 degrees for the high. Ooh, that's going to be hot, Tony. Drink your water. Keep hydrated, my friend. 72 degrees for the low, mostly cloudy as far as that goes. Me and Tony, we hooked up there. We're going to talk about that. I like talking about that. We had fun yesterday, Tony. I had a ball. Man, That is always fun. Recapturing the Sunday fun there of past. Across the pond in Cork, Ireland at 11:33 a.m. Cloudy skies, 63 degrees Fahrenheit uh, in Cork, Ireland. In Milan, Italy at 12:33 p.m. in the afternoon, partly sunny, partly clear, or partly sunny, partly. How can you be partly sunny? Well, partly sunny, partly cloudy. I guess you could say that's partly clear, isn't it? Yeah, in a manner of speaking. 82 degrees in Milan, Italy. In New Delhi, no, Milan, Italy. Yeah, in New Delhi, India, at 4:04 p.m. I'm trying to rush to catch up on it. Just slow down, Rich. Slow down, right? Just take it easy. I'm here, so that's all that matters. At 4:04 p.m. in New Delhi, India, partly cloudy, partly sunny, 93 degrees Fahrenheit. In Mumbai, India, at 4:04 p.m., 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Uh, yeah, it's partly cloudy, partly sunny. In Kuala Lumpur, and you know what's going to happen in Kuala Lumpur. It's always, and we love it. I love saying Kuala Lumpur. At 6:34 p.m. this morning, sunny skies in Kuala Lumpur, and 88 degrees Fahrenheit. In Tokyo, Japan, at 7:34 p.m. in the evening, it is partly cloudy, partly clear, 84 degrees Fahrenheit. And down in Australia, in Melbourne, Australia, at 8:35 p.m. in the evening, currently 57 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy skies. And over in Sydney, they've got clear skies in Sydney at 8:35 p.m. 52 degrees Fahrenheit there in Sydney. And there's our world times and temperatures as I speak. Hell yeah. Yeah, we had a good time. We had a good time. Oh, let's see. A thought for the day. Let's get that. Let's get these out of the way here. Well, not out of the way, but let's go, and then we'll get into some see what we how all our weekends were. Our thought for the day comes from an individual, Georgia. I'm going to say Georgia. It's spelled like George, but it's Georgia Sand. She's French, female. Amameta, Lucille, Aaron. Oh, it's just a French name going across. Is this maybe that's her pen name, George Sand. I'm gonna call it Georgia. Maybe it was George. Okay, but anyway, best known by. Oh, that was her pen name. Okay, it is a pen name. George Sand is her pen name. Okay, Amanda de Front. Oh, I can't even pronounce that last name. It's French. But was a French novelist and journalist. And this is the thought for today. What is it? It goes as follows. Very simple, and right to the point. There is only one happiness in life: to love and to be loved. And be loved, okay? It's always good to give love, give kindness, and in that sense, and then hopefully you receive it back. So that's right to the point. There's only one happiness in life: to love and be loved. I think live life and have fun. You know, it's always good to have fun, but you know, you got to make sure you're kind and loving to those especially to your family and friends, and just the general people around you. You know, just an act of kindness, and that's giving love, is being kind. So a good quote there. Our national day for today is. I still feel like I'm rushing here. I think this is the latest I've ever been on broadcast as far as that goes, and stuff. So, let's see. We already have a conflict already. Let's see. We have World Ranger Day. Thank those rangers that are out there in the field. National Avocado Day. I like avocado. Avocado's good. I like avocado in the salad. Here's the one. I don't think I've ever had it, but National Raspberry Cake Day. And raspberry cake, that's a pretty good dessert and stuff like that. But this is the one I'm going to go with. National Mutt Day. Today is National Mutt Day because that picture looks like Max. Max is the canine member of the family that we had here who passed away a few years back, several years back. This dog looks like this. He looks like a bit, Max as a puppy. Well, we had Max just as he was getting out of that puppy state, but he just did the face and the mouth, the way the mouth is like Max. I remember Max. God, I miss him. He's the best dog. So, in honor of my canine member of our family, Max, we're going to go with National Mutt Day. National Mutt Day encourages us to embrace, save, and celebrate mixed breed dogs twice a year, January 31st and December 2nd. Okay. Hashtag National Mutt Day. Despite longing for a new home, millions of loving and healthy mixed breed dogs in shelters wait for someone to come and adopt them. And that's what we did with Max. We got him from a local shelter. He was brought back twice, oddly enough. I don't know why. He was our baby there. We loved. Oh my God. National Mutt Day provides an excellent opportunity to find the perfect canine companion, and that's what we did with Max. I just have to say that he was. We had some problem. We had some issues with him medically wise and stuff like that. But he gave undivided love, and why that goes with our thought for the day. Give love and be loved, and that was Max to the core. National Mutt Day provides an excellent opportunity to find the perfect canine companion. Despite the name, a mutt learns, obeys, and trains much like purebred animals, while their lineage cannot be traced, and their features are a bit murky. Their championships will be faithful, and Max was faithful. He was I get that. Well, say he was faithful because he was always wanting to get something to eat and stuff like that. That was Max. But we miss him. So today is in honor of my fallen. Remember my fallen canine friend Max. Today is National Mutt Day. We love you, Max. Okay. We had a good weekend. I hope you all had a good weekend. Let me get some coffee here. Like I said, let's see. Saturday we started off with we had a good barbecue. We went to a family barbecue. It was the missus's older brother had a chicken barbecue there, and it was great fun. It was a little. I guess before we went, it looked like it was gonna get rained out and stuff. We're gonna get some really heavy rain, but we didn't, luckily, and we had all a good time. It did once the clouds broke. It was sort of cool with the cloud coverage, but once the sun broke, the sun was shining. It got hot. It did get hot. I was wearing a black T-shirt, so I was just absorbing all that heat. I like wearing black T-shirts. I got a blue one on this today. I had blue. I switched it out. Yes. But then there was a little sprinkles, but we had a good time. We were there for a couple hours, almost 3 hours, maybe 2.5 hours. The missus had one of her sister and her husband from Schenectady come down, and all the family, her side of the family gathered at this. Her brother-in-law, or my brother-in-law, the missus's brother, has these barbecues every one. He hasn't had them in lately, but he had one this year, and it's always a great gathering. It's actually, I hadn't made one in quite some time because being at the day job and all that. And what's going on with this? I'm trying to bring up a tab here. So that was good. I'm a little particular on eating chicken as far as that goes, especially barbecue chicken, unless I'm cooking it or barbecuing it, as far as that goes. And I guess this is what the hell is this? Oh, okay, there we go. So that was a good time. It's always great meeting back up with family and stuff, and had a great discussion about various things, especially the Yankees and Orioles, which we'll get to that. We'll get to the baseball when I get to the baseball. We're dropping some frames, but it looks like we're doing okay on the picture. Um, a great day, and it's sort of, I mean, just for a few hours, it's sort of, I mean, conversing with other people there at the barbecue. A gentleman that he had a little bit of history that one of the components that was on the F-4, which was the first United States Air Force fighter jet that I worked on back when I first went in the Air Force back in 1977. The Flying Brick, as it was called. He worked on a component called the Wild Weasel, which it was fascinating talking to him. And he was even as fascinated with me because I was the Air Force on the receiving end. Even though I didn't work on jets, I was around the jets and I was familiar with the F-4 because as a firefighter, you had to know how to shut it down and get into the aircraft, egress the pilot, safety the safety seat, egress the pilot, and shut it down in the process in an emergency because that's what the fire department did in the Air Force. Aircraft rescue firefighting, it was called. And so it was really, I take those opportunities when I can talk to an individual that knows something. He's going back to 1967 when I was just a punk kid. I was like 8 years old or something like that, 7 or 8 years old. So, here it was years later. All the components that he was telling about on the F-4. He at one point he said, "Yeah, there's 24 antennas on there." I said, "24 antennas? I don't see no 24 antennas." He said, "Well, Rich, they have like either 6 of them or up to 12 of them, and then there's a cap, like a big cap of." The cap. Okay, I've seen those. It's like a little bubble, but there's various antennas for various systems that they had on board. And the one uniqueness about the F-4, and I seen on History Channel and the American Heroes channel on the TV, they had to fly in pairs because the F-4 was not that maneuverable. It could carry a shitload of munitions, but it's sort of like the old Corsair in World War II. They was big and not that maneuverable, compared to the F-16, F-15, F-35, F-22 of today. They're very maneuverable for dogfighting. And which when you say dogfight, can a jet? They're popping off missiles at each other. Basically, they're standing off, popping off missiles. But the F-4 was it was very interesting, the perspective he had with that particular system that was on the F-4, the Wild Weasel. That it was a very interesting conversation, I should say. So and then Sunday, our good friend that's in the chat there, Tony D, I hooked up with him twice, just an impromptu, and he gave me the word because I couldn't think of it. He did an impromptu Twitch guest stars with Tony yesterday for about an hour, and then right after that we went into the fantasy football. As far as that goes, the fantasy football, to where I did some stuff. I did some post-production, especially on the Twitch broadcast, because it did shut down and it reconnected. So usually I take those 2 broadcasts off of Twitch, download them, and I bring them into Movie Maker to join them together, and they're loaded up over on replay on my Rumble channel, Fireman Rich, and my YouTube channel, Richard M. Roberts, as far as that goes. Because it's always good talking with Tony. I mean, to me that's a real treat on Sundays. And it was, and I guess I I didn't know what I was going to do. I was going to do a game. I do gaming on Sunday and stuff. I forgot. I did a broadcast Saturday when I got home, PUBG. So I've rebroadcast that over on YouTube and Rumble as well, on the PUBG mobile on the tablet. So so I did a lot of broadcasting yesterday or this weekend. So I had the gaming, and then yesterday, like I said, Tony D. That's always a treat. And I said, well, let's do a guest star. See if Tony's available. He was available. He had his son this weekend, Jason, which was great to see him and say hi to him. It's And here's Tony D. He's on Twitter X, as I'm calling it. That's it, the Twitter. I'm going to still call it Twitter as far as the new X program from Elon Musk. It's Twitter X, I'll call it. I am not on Twitter still. I still have a couple more days for my 30-day symbolic protest on the limitations of the number of views that you get, which I don't know if that's still in place or they just silently just said, oh, just let it go away. I don't know. I haven't been on. I peek on Twitter, and people wondering what are they going to call. It's always going to be Twitter. It's just like people call. You have Periscope. You had Periscope, right? But then you got Twitter Live. So what are you going to call it? X Live now? It's Twitter Live. Well, I think maybe this because they changed the name to Twitter. Maybe that's. I'm just thinking of that. Maybe Elon will be bringing back. Well, there's talk about him bringing back Periscope, so maybe he'll bring it back because he wants to get the word Twitter out of everything. That's what he's doing. He's Xing out Twitter. But I was with Tony D yesterday on Twitch guest stars, and I did some post production. I was on. He had a broadcast afterwards, the Belt King Fantasy Football League, which he does, and he's going to be doing a broadcast each Sunday at the start of NFL, which starts actually this Thursday. Be talking about that here in a minute or two. But on Belt King's Fantasy Football League, Tony last NFL season he was on every Sunday. He has a fantasy football league. I wasn't in it, but he graciously invited me, which I very much am very thankful for, on a Sunday morning before the ball games, and we talk about football. And that's what we did yesterday. We talked a little bit on the guest stars broadcast, but on his broadcast, we talked more football and stuff like that. He's very good on talking about what's going on in football. I'm a knucklehead. I don't know. Yeah, I know some players, but I love the play of football. So I'm primarily for the New York teams, the Giants, Jets, and Bills. More so on the Jet side, I think it's going to be exciting. That's got me excited because this Thursday night's games is the preseason is between the New York Jets and the Cleveland Browns. But what's even more exciting about that, what's really exciting, and we talked about it yesterday with Tony, is the fact that Aaron Rodgers is now their quarterback. When he was with the Green Bay Packers, like, okay, it's Aaron Rodgers. He's a good quarterback. He's probably he's up there in one of the greats, not the best, but he is one of the greats. Good morning, Thamer. Thank you, Thamer. Thamer coming in from Riyadh, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Good to have you here. Running a little late, but I'm here nonetheless, as far as that goes. So, but it was great talking with Tony, and I think Tony. I think you saw it because I posted it up on. I ended up taking the what is it, the audio of that, Tony. I think you saw that when because I got a like from you on Threads that I took the audio. I actually replayed it using Audacity, and because I was listening to a little bit of the replay on your broadcast on Belt King Fantasy Football League, and I'm thinking, I already have it my broadcast up, and I'm thinking I was on Tony's broadcast, the Belt Kings Fantasy Football League. I said, why don't how can? And I was thinking I can't, I think next time if I'm gonna, I might take. I remember Tony telling me I should, if I wanted to share out the broadcast, because Tony uses Restream. I would have been able to do this a little bit easier, but I Mickey Moused it by re-recording the broadcast on Audacity and then putting the audio up. Now, if I would have had a copy of the video, Spotify for podcasters, that's where I do my the Fireman Rich audio podcast and all things audio that I do on this thing called the internet. I could take the video and then drop it in, and then Spotify just takes they don't show you the pictures, but they strip out the they utilize the audio from that file. So but I got thinking, so hey Ted, good morning. And he's saying good morning to Tony D and Thammer. Yeah, I'm running a little late here. This is, I don't know. I just I overslept this morning, so this is sort of a late Monday, last day of the month broadcast here as far as that goes. And Tony's saying hi to Ted. So I ended up repurposing Belt King Fantasy Football over there on my Spotify. Hey, Glick. Morning, Rich. Long time. Yeah, I'm running a little late. So we got Glick from Nonsensical Nonsense. Glad to have you here, Glick. Glad to have you here, sir. We're filling up a little bit. So Nonsensical Nonsense, they have a broadcast every, let's see, where's my card here? Stand by, folks. Stand by. I'm popping the cards again. We're getting close to where we're coming back on Twitter. So there it is, Nonsensical Nonsense Podcast. And it's with Glick. Tony D is on that broadcast, as well as Jeff. They're over on Spotify. They broadcast on Monday, Wednesdays, Saturdays at 1800 at 6 p.m. as far as that goes. And we do have Ted Hicks. I got to pop Ted Hicks. He does late night parenting on Thursday, which I think Tony's not going to be there. So I don't know what you're going to do for a guest there, Ted. He informed yesterday that he's going to be doing swing shift here for a little bit. Well, not a little bit, several weeks. The Ted Hicks, he does late night parenting. So I love popping these cards because these are three individuals that they do the broadcast. I do a lot of replay watching on theirs because I guess when the Nonsensical Nonsense comes on, I'm busy doing something, or they just run. I'll tell you right now, Glick, you guys do a marathon broadcast. I don't know how you guys do it. We had fun yesterday. You could say we did 2 hours worth of broadcast. First an hour on Twitch guest stars, and then Tony had his broadcast using Restream, and so we had a 2 hour session going there yesterday. But that was fun. I didn't have any coffee either, did I? I was out of coffee. Did I finish up my coffee? I think I'm not sure. The coffee goes quick on the weekends, as far as that goes. So, let's see. So I guess the point I'm getting across on the audio, I just felt compelled, and I did a lot of post production, especially re-recording, because I listened to the 45-minute, and it sounded pretty good for to put up as a podcast, as an audio and stuff like that, and so we're just getting our day started there, Glick. It's Monday morning. I'm running late. I'm usually off at this time. Let's see. I am going to refresh my coffee here, and I will be right back because we're sitting at 30 minutes, and I'll be back for another 30 minutes. So just hang tight, folks. And I want to get another cup of coffee here so we can go another 30 minutes and stuff. So I'll be right back. Just enjoy. are back. We're back. Short little break there to get some more, fill up the coffee cup as far as that goes, and take a little very quick bathroom break there. The first cup of coffee is running through. So let's see, where are we? Let's see. Ted goes, always upload your audio, people. People will definitely listen. Yeah, that's it was just a good we had a Tony D on his Belt Kings fantasy football broadcast. That was a great broadcast. We had fun, and it's a preempt. It's sort of like the Belt Kings fantasy football preseason broadcast. That's what I'm calling it, Tony, as far as that goes. And it was fun. We had a great time, and I had fun putting it up all together post production there, as far as re-recording it, loading it up, splicing the guest stars together as far as that goes into Movie Maker. That workflow is I download it on a drive, and then I have to unplug it from my main box, and I plug in it because the Movie Maker in Windows 11 you don't have Movie Maker unless you go out and buy it, I guess, now and stuff. I have an old box. It's Windows. It's updated to Windows 11, but it still has all the old programs from Windows 10, I think. And Movie Maker's on. I like using Movie Maker. It's very basic and stuff like that. Just like Audacity. I use Audacity to re-record, play that on the desktop and bring the audio in, rewatching Tony's Belt King Fantasy Football League broadcast there, and just picking up the audio and then dropping that file up there in the Spotify for podcasters, which was pretty cool. I think when you upload from the desktop, you can have more than an hour. Well, Tony wanted to keep it under an hour because he wanted to load it up over there on his Instagram account, which is good as far as But I agree with Ted there, because he does late night parenting, and what he does, he repurposes. You have the live broadcast on his YouTube channel, but then when he re-uploads a file to YouTube, but it's just the audio, which is good. And I think he do you post that up other places, like on I imagine you post it up over there on iTunes and Spotify as far as that goes, Ted. I know the Nonsensical Nonsense is on Spotify as far as that goes. I've listened to it on Spotify, which is great because if you have the audio, it's portable. And like Ted, he likes... Yeah, okay, you do. Okay, Ted he repurposes late night parenting over there. I guess you do, because I listen to... There's times I listen to your the late night parenting on my Fountain app. That's my podcatcher app, Fountain for podcasters, where I have Ted on there, and anytime Ted's late night parenting comes up, I can listen to it on my phone. And because if it's just our mug shots up here on all practical purpose, this could be a podcast, because you don't need to see but it's a live stream. There's a purpose. The people in the chat, I bring them in. That's the difference between a podcast and a live stream. Live stream, well, you could have talk about the chat in a podcast, I guess. So, but there is a little bit of a difference and stuff. And if you're able to cross over on them, that's great, because I agree totally with Ted, because I come from a brought up here on this thing called the internet from audio. I used to do audio, and then I got into the live streaming and stuff. But I love all things that are audio as far as that goes. So we had a great time yesterday, and I want to say thank you to Tony D, my friend, my brother veteran, as I like to say. As far as it's always good, and I'm looking forward to the Sunday morning Belt King fantasy football broadcasts there that he does, and he puts them up. They primarily come up on Twitch and YouTube, and he has a host of others, but those are the two main ones. Glick, yeah, we are everywhere. Love being able to grab just audio after the show is over. Yes, and because the one uniqueness about audio Glick is the fact that it's portable. You can, everybody has a phone in their hand. That is literally a computer in your hand. I know that's preaching to the choir and stuff, but you can get so much stuff. It's more than, it's not just a phone. It's a device that uses the phone application, but you can listen to audio as far as that go. Audio is much smaller file and portable, or video. Choose up the data plan. Yeah. Hey, good morning, Lady Leg. I'm running a little late, and we get Lady Leg in here in the broadcast. She's in the chat. Lady Leg is Helen, coming in from Scotland. Thank you for being here, Helen. Good morning from the southern tier of upstate New York. Glad to have you. I hope you had a good weekend. I'm getting a late start. I started an hour late. I slept in this morning, so I woke up and I said, "Don't be frantic. Just do your morning thing, get the things done, and you're running late and stuff like that." Hey, strange morning, Leggy. And Ted saying, we got Ted, we got Tony, we got Glick, and now we got Helen. So we got a full house as far as I'm concerned. So I appreciate you guys being here as far as that goes. So a real good time. I guess the reason I probably was, I slept in this morning. You said, okay, hello, stranger. Okay, click. Correct. And then Tony saying hi to Helen also. Last night, I mentioned how I did a broadcast Saturday for on PUBG Mobile. I'm loving that game. That game is fun. If you don't know what PUBG Mobile is, go to my YouTube channel, okay? There's a broadcast up there on the YouTube channel. There's my YouTube channel, okay? youtube.com/@RichardMRoberts, okay? And if you want to go to my Rumble channel, there's my Rumble channel, okay? I'm popping the cards again, folks. Well, PUBG, I was up last night. I played one game of PUBG Battleground, which is a separate. It's the same, but it's different. It's PUBG Mobile is on. You can do it on the phone with your thumbs, your fingers. If you do the crawl thing, I do the thumbs basically with the controls. First-person shooter, and he could have been calling me strange. He wouldn't be. You're not strange, Helen. No, don't say that. What's that? Okay, the missus says strange is fine, Helen, okay? So it's okay. It's so different. What's that again?
It's okay to be different.
Yeah, she says it's okay to be different. Tony's laughing his ass off. But I'm really excited about this game because it's very fun. And this is one of the things, Tony, we were talking about. Did I talk about this yesterday, Tony? You got to keep your mind active. Oh, yeah, I was talking about PUBG yesterday. So I got PUBG on the brain here. And Helen says, thank you. Thanks, Mrs. and morning. Can't complain. How you been? Yeah. But what is it? It's a good game. I'm in that age. I'm 65 now. I'm retired, okay? For those folks watching on the replay, it's just like, I know I've been told I look younger, but I'm 65. I don't feel 65. I feel like I'm in my late 40s, early 50s and stuff like that. So I don't feel like I'm 24 anymore. I used to say that back when I was in my 50s, I guess. And I'm blessed, knock on wood. I've got good health as far as that goes and stuff. But one of the things when you get older, you got to keep your mind active. And I think this game, it's really exciting. I love playing Lord of the Rings online. It can be exciting and stuff. PUBG mobile is exciting. PUBG Battleground, which is for the PC, it's PUBG mobile on steroids because the detail is just eye candy to the max, and it's free. I go through Steam. I use Steam for the PUBG Battlegrounds. But PUBG Mobile, I'm on there. It's great fun. It works the mind as far as that goes. Lady Leg, nonsensical nonsense. Oh, I'm all right. Taking a sabbatical from social media. But yeah, I can relate to that. Well, I'm not taking it from totally, just from Twitter. Twitter X, I'm calling it now. The Twitter X. The little X. When you see me do this, this is hashtag, okay, but this is Twitter X. They're not as big as they think. Okay, there's a lot of other fine social media networks or platforms that are out there. Threads being one, Truth Social, Facebook. Did I say Facebook? Oh my God! Like getting back to PUBG. It works to mine, and I enjoy it. But last night I was watching on the PUBG side. I was watching actually for a good almost 2 hours. This guy playing. He's a Brit. I can't remember. I just started following him. He's a Brit that he has a broadcast. I can't think of his name. What's his? I wonder if I can bring up his handle here on YouTube. I noticed you've been MIA. Oh, Glick is saying that to Helen. Yeah, Helen. But no, Helen. She's been doing a radio show. I've been seeing her over there on. She had a couple broadcasts. She doesn't do the. She took a little break. I don't think I've seen her. She usually broadcasts on Twitch there to when she's setting up for a radio show, as far as that goes. But this guy last night, he was phenomenal. I ended up giving him a thumbs up on his live broadcast. I think he was broadcasting. I got to see if he's on Twitch. Let's see if I can get his. Oh, here it is. The Busco. The Bushka. This guy is phenomenal as a PUBG player. Oh my God. I was just the missus is coming in saying good. Go ahead.
Oh, no. Okay, no. I don't know what you were saying. Never mind. Sorry.
No, you came in last night and I was watching this guy, and I guess I was just I turned the TV off, and yes, I always do my radio thing. Yeah, I catch it. Yeah, that's your forte. Yeah, and you do a good job on that. You actually do a great job on that as far as that goes. But this guy, the Busco, did I say that right? Or no, Bushka, the Bushka, the Bushka, Buska. This guy is phenomenal. Just go to his YouTube channel, the Bushka. Just watch a video and you'll see what PUBG is about. This guy, he has team play that is so fantastic. He had a live broadcast. I was watching on YouTube. I think he might. I got to check. I've looked at his videos before, but this is the first time I've ever seen him live. He was rotating people in to play, and this guy is a pro. This guy knows his shit on PUBG, and that's what was fascinating. I had him full screen, and usually you don't get the full screen on a YouTube or a video unless you're really good. You get just sometimes if I'm watching YouTube, you just get the little boxes like, okay, yeah. The Bushko, his gameplay was such that I had it full screen. My screen was full with his broadcast last night, and that's speaking very highly of him because he had some gameplay that it was just phenomenal. It was fun. I was having a ball watching. So. Let's see, Radio Boss told me the other day that my work is exceptional. He got me a little bit too... you are good. That's Helen, you are good. You're better than good. You're great. You do a good job as far as that goes, and and that's what we as viewers, and I'm saying as when I'm a viewer or listener, that's why you go back every time to either listen or watch somebody that's producing some sort of form of audio or video, because they do a good job. This guy Busco, he's just I love him. The guy, first impression of this guy was great as far as and I think he had the British accent, so I think he's a Brit over there. I'm not sure where. And let's see, Nonsensical Nonsense says to Lady Leg, we all need a break sometimes. A reset is a reset is always good. And Lady Leg, Helen comes back with, all right, you have me blushing. We're just telling you the truth, Helen. You do a good job on the radio. That's your passion. You can see that with you. So, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate the association with you, because I really, my first piece of tech was an AM radio, and I used to listen to the local radio stations there on the old AM transistor radio back in the '60s. So, I have a deep appreciation of the radio as far as that goes. Even though everything's on FM now, it's a lot. When FM came, geez, when FM first came out, I can remember it's like, oh my God, what just happened? AM. I still listen to AM radio. I listen to a lot of talk radio. Of course, I'm going to listen to a lot of talk radio on the AM side. I'm conservative, so why wouldn't I? Right? That's a place to go. I'm just saying, I'm not going to go there down that route. But as far as that goes, so video killed the radio stuff. Yeah, but I think radio is still strong, Helen. I look at it. FM side seems a little saturated at times because I think the internet. I think the internet is killing radio because everything's on the internet. Well, wouldn't you say internet is killing TV? Because internet is accumulation of everything and stuff like that. So, but Ted goes to Helen. You mastered your craft, and we're giving you the acclimates. Yeah. Ted, she goes, thanks to Ted, appreciate you, Ted. They were both parties, even like I said, along with the crazy stuff that Glick and Tony does on nonsensical nonsense. They're great broadcasters, and I really I never get tired saying that as far as that goes. But the PUBG, this guy, the Bushko, I like that name now. Now I can say it, the Bushko, cord cutting. Yeah, exactly, Ted. Cord cutting TV. Give him a look, okay? I can't speak enough of this guy because I'm gonna be probably watching. He has He has videos that are popping up on my feed now because I've watched enough of them, along with streaming. Yes. Well, streaming is on the internet, so I just put it as the internet. That goes, Ted. The internet is all encompassing now. It's really. I think I watch more on the internet than I do on the TV as far as that goes. Except sports. I still like watching sports on TV. I think there was a time when, well, was it last year? And it might be this year. Thursday Night Football. Twitch was. It's just after Amazon bought Twitch. They were doing they bought the rights to Thursday Night Football. I'm not sure if that's going to take place this year, either. But this guy, just to finish up, the Bushko, PUBG. Master, fun to watch. If you want to get an understanding, I got my video out there, but it doesn't come anywhere close the gameplay that this guy does with the people that he has come in. I mean, these guys have been playing this game for years. As far as that goes, they're talking about a game that before PUBG that started PUBG from years back, and these guys have mastered it as far as that goes. And they'll say that they're not even the best. They're better than me, I can tell you that. They wouldn't last 5 minutes on the battleground with these guys because they have some tact. There was one place, watching them. You got these cars you drive around. They came up on this one compound and they took out this one squad and they came around the back and this car was parked up on the second floor. It was a little convertible coupe. And this is how they must have came off the mountain and it went up into the window and stuff. I've never seen that before. Funnier than shit. It was funny. So check out the Bushko over there on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel. I'm gonna try and find his Twitch channel because I'm sure he has a Twitch channel as far as that goes. But PUBG, I can't speak enough of it. I really enjoy it. It's sort of at the forefront. I mean, I haven't been excited about this game, this much about a game since Lord of the Rings. I still love Lord of the Rings. It is my favorite game. I've been at it for a long time, and I got to get some gameplay. I got to find some time between the PUBG, take a PUBG break and cruise on the. And there's another game I'm bringing that I have broadcast once on, and that's Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 is a good game too. I did the original Guild Wars, so I do. Everybody say, "Well, Twitch is gaming." See, you're gaming, yeah, but Twitch is about this, talking about it. I think Twitch has become for me more of a combination of chatting that we do here. We did a lot. We did 2 hours worth of broadcasting yesterday. Tony and I, an hour on guest stars, and which. Incidentally, Helen, guest stars with just Tony and me worked quite well as far as that go. PUBG Mobile is another one I got offered sponsorship for. Really, take it. If you get a sponsor from PUBG, there's a lot of people on PUBG. A lot of people, it's been around for a while, and I've only been on it for 2 years now, a little over 2 years, and I think you got that spot. I don't bloody games. They keep offering me. Yeah, it's a first. Yeah, I see where you're going with that. I can understand that, Helen. Okay, you got a certain standard and stuff like that. Yeah, I can see that. But that's just if they're offering you a sponsorship, that's pretty cool. It's a fun game, even though I guess I get the blood. There's gun, but it's I still look in my head. It's a game, okay? It's not I keep a separation of the two and stuff like that, because in real life, if you got hit with a bullet, you're not coming back. Here you get respawned, okay? As far as that goes. So, what are you laughing about? Oh, the missus running around. Today's Monday, so today is cleaning day. She's already got the dusting and all that stuff. Which I'm gonna have to get out of her way.
You don't have to. I'll get it later.
What's that?
Over there.
Well, I'm just saying, on Mondays, I'm supposed to stay out of her way because she has her routine, and I don't want to. That was one of the things after retiring. I'm doing fairly good. I just stay out of the way. I'll help move some things out of the way or something like that, but I'll get out of the way. I'll just get in the next room. I don't want to. Interfere with her workflow as it goes. Helen, I wouldn't even know where to start. Gamers be like, who's this talking to us about something she doesn't know about? Well, yeah, if you don't know about it, but you just say, hey, some people that play it, or how you would work it in. It's just they want to sponsor you. So why does somebody want to sponsor you? They must see something. Okay, they don't arbitrarily. You're the first one I've ever heard that PUBG wants to send you a sponsor to. PUBG's up there. I mean, they just got done with a tournament. Was it Thamer was here over where he lives in Riyadh? Just playing PUBG. I think the winning team came from Malaysia. They won $4 million for playing a game. But their skill is such that people want to watch that. It's just like football. I love football. The players, you get into the drama and this and that. I love football because I love watching the play develop on the field. I love, we were talking about this yesterday. I'm more of a defensive guy. Tony likes the offense. We had a discussion about that on the various aspects of the game. I like the way the flow of the game and how they, even now, when they pick it apart afterwards, the replay and stuff like that. Oh, they could have done this, done that, and stuff like that. And it's phenomenal. And that's what PUBG is like as far as, I don't know what sort of starts that, a sponsorship. They must see something, maybe they're just looking at the numbers that you're drawing that, hey, we want you to, maybe there's a lot of PUBG players over there in the UK, as far as that goes, Helen, that they see you. And the radio show that you listen to over there on, was it Planet? What the hell is that? It's not Planet Rock. That's a radio station I listen to on this particular. Was it? I'm trying to bring it up here. Just bear with me. Oh, radio! You beat me. You always beat me to it. Radio Garden. That's a great application. So maybe when you're broadcasting on Radio Garden on the radio station, that's what's because I'm thinking, you have exactly. You don't have anything, but what's causing that to say, hey, they're offering you a sponsorship? It's probably because you're on Radio Garden. Or maybe because you're over there on Mixcloud. Helen is over on Mixcloud. Lady Leg. So you got to look at those avenues. Is why are they picking you for that and stuff like that? So because you don't play PUBG, obviously. You already said you don't know nothing about it, but PUBG Mobile, some Star Trek thing, and Marvel Strike Force. Really? There's a few, but I don't want to start gaming. I don't have. Yeah, you got to have the time. That's the thing. I'm using up all my gaming time on PUBG instead of Lord of the Rings, as far as that goes. So I have to find an even medium and stuff. But the thing of it is about the games, they keep the mind going. They keep you thinking, and even the simple games that are on the telephone, as far as that goes, on your cell phone. You know, I play. What do I play? I play Risk, and I have. Clash of Clans. Those are the two games I primarily play on my. I do have a solitary game I play every once in a while. I do like the old solitary. I'm old school. It's not that exciting, but it does work your mind as far as okay, what do I got to do? You're looking at things. Your mind is processing. And I don't do the Hello Fresh sponsorship, but it's the only one I've done. Okay, yeah. So I know Glick on Nonsensical Nonsense. They've got a sponsorship. Glick, who's sponsoring you on Nonsensical? It's a water supplement of some sort that you add to water that's supposed to be almost better than water. I guess it gives you the nutrients. It's not that it. I haven't tried it yet, but I believe it's a product that I get the way Glick talks about it and presents it. It's a sponsor for Nonsensical Nonsense broadcast podcast. That it's a light addition to water. It's not because Gatorade. I think they mentioned this on Nonsensical Nonsense. Gatorade can be a little soupy sometimes. It's refreshing if it's ice cold. It's like an ice cold beer. It goes down real good. And I'm more of a water drinker. I'll drink. I got my water flask filled with water. I'll drink 126 ounces of water each day, religiously. I like the water. I go to the bathroom a lot, okay, and but my system's being flushed and the water keeps me hydrated as far as that goes. So I'm not sure. Let's see, Lady Leg. Some of the shit I get asked to promote. Really, I can imagine. I just ignore them. There was one clothing company that does fitness clothing, which only went up to the UK size 14, US 10. Oh, really? Yeah. That's a select group you're going towards. I was like, have they ever seen my? No, don't say that. But I think it's just I think that's just great that you're getting hit with sponsorships and stuff like that. And like I said, Glick, they got one for a water supplement that looks and if you're offered them, why not do them? Myself personally, I don't think I just I like promoting. If there was one company, if they were to offer me, I would promote them in a minute, but I'm not promoting. I have nothing to do with Death Wish Coffee. I am just I love this product. We do have what did the missus got? She got some. What was that coffee you bought? The pound of coffee. That. Oh, okay. We got a pound of black. I'm going to be trying Black Rifle here in the next week. I've been wanting to try that, but if I was offered a sponsorship from Death Wish Coffee, oh my God, I go wild. This is a product here in New York State. They're up there north of Schenectady, Albany area, and Round Lake. This is great coffee. I'm not drinking. I drink. It's not that. It's what, $18 a pound now. It's a little pricey, but when I promote something, it's as a consumer. And I'm not interested unless it's something I would. Exactly, Helen. It's not. You're not interested unless you buy. I promote, especially Death Wish Coffee. I love this stuff from day one. I love having Death Wish Coffee. My favorite, and I'm sure Black Rifle Coffee. Will I promote it as much? Yeah. The uniqueness about Death Wish Coffee, it's here in New York State. It's a New York State product. As far as that goes, they bring the beans in. They grind up the proportional beans to make Death Wish coffee, but it was the first one out there. That now you got Black Rifle Coffee, and there's several other ones that have the same type of high caffeine octane as far as that goes. So but I agree with you. Totally, Helen. I'm going to promote something, but I'm going to put that disclaimer in there. they're not sponsoring me. So that's even more to say, hey, you know what? Maybe I might try this because Fireman Rich is speaking very highly of it, as far as that goes. And I don't do that very often. Death Wish is one of the mainstay that I'll if I'm drinking it, I'm going to let you know I'm drinking it because I enjoy the hell out of drinking it. And I have nothing to do other than I'm just a plain consumer. There's very few brands that I will mention about that I really like. Integrity, exactly. That's the key word, Helen. Exactly, 100% integrity, exactly. And I'm not going to frivolously. It's just like the games I talked. I just talked about a little bit about PUBG. I love PUBG. It's something I enjoy. Death Wish coffee, I definitely enjoy. It's some good coffee. I don't know what are we drinking today. I'll mention what we're drinking.
Price Choppers.
Oh.
Snickerdoodle or some cinnamon.
Okay, it's yeah, it's a Snickerdoodle brand from the grocery store from Price Chopper. Glick, nonsensical nonsense. I have same mindset. I don't want to endorse something I don't use or believe in. Not just throwing my name or show behind anything else, just to say I have sponsors. That's exactly, Glick. What is that? Who's sponsoring nonsensical nonsense? I want to get that out here on the broadcast. It's a water supplement thing. If you can just pop the name in there and stuff like that. Because you have an actual sponsor and stuff like that. Helen, she has potential sponsors, but they're not right. Let's see. Best way to be. Congrats on sponsorship, by the way. Yeah. And Helen, you should, if you get those, you got to pick the ones that's right for you as far as that goes. Oh, Liquid 4, Blend Jet, and Zencast. Okay, Tony D came in with that. Liquid 4. Well, like I said, I did Hello Fresh. We have Liquid IV is okay. It's Liquid IV, Blend Jet, and Zencast R. So there it is, and they're sponsoring the Nonsensical Nonsense stuff like that. So congrats to the Nonsensical Nonsense podcast. That as far as that goes, so that's good. Is this to get a sponsorship? That means you're moving up. Let's see, Helen, but there's work involved. You have to stream with their banners for the same amount of time. Yeah, and then you have to mention them so many times too. Over there on what used to be Anchor, now is Spotify for podcasters, owned by Spotify. You can use them you can get sponsored by them automatically if you as far as making the what's the term there? Tony, you had the term there. You're talking about Michael on Twitter. He's making the money. And Helen, Nonsense Glick says thank you to Helen. What do they call that? You're making the money on, as far as that goes. I can't think of it.
Income?
Yeah, something like that, income. But you're promoting them, so you're making the money. I forget what it's called, but over there on Spotify for podcasters, if you can get in and make some money. Commission, there we go, commission, yeah. And I never push that button because I like being over there doing the audio, and I mean here on Twitch, I guess because of the ads that pop up when they do pop up, because I don't want anybody's, unless you really want to, you can subscribe, subscribe and you pay that whatever it is. I know there's a few people that do. I really appreciate. I don't really, just watch the commercials. I know some people don't like watching the commercials and stuff like that. There is something called Twitch Turbo that I guess you pay so much you don't see and I think there's some money that goes to the broadcasters as far as that goes. Monetization that's the word, monetization. Thank you, Helen. Monetization, or no, Tony. Thank you, Tony. A commission. It is a commission. It's monetization. That's what I was that's the word we're talking about. how our friend Michael Bathurst is mostly on Twitter because he's monetization it. He's getting the money. Monetization on Anchor is only available in this. Oh, that's right. You're right, Helen. I forgot about that. I never press the button. I thought about it a couple times. It's like, you know what? There's work involved, like you said. You have to make sure you have that in your broadcast every time. And I got thinking, it's like, you know what? I don't want that clogging up my audio podcast now. So let's see, Glick, the Spotify for podcast ad thing is a pain in the neck, and the requirements are, yeah, they're more insane. I haven't really looked into them lately, but I can see that they are, Glick. I know you had to say it like once in the beginning and once in the end, and you have a specific script that you have to say, and I'm not sure if you really get that much. It goes back to what Helen was saying. If you're going to get sponsorship, there's work. I mean, it doesn't seem like work when you're promoting the Liquid IV, Glick. You just naturally, because you use it, so you incorporate it into your broadcast and stuff. So that's good. That's interesting as far as that goes. So, but that's something. That's like the next level. If you get the sponsorships and stuff like that, that's great. That's fantastic. I don't need sponsorship. I just have fun. That's my whole premise here. Is to have fun. When it's not fun, you won't see me here. You know, look at this morning. I'm an hour late, but I'm motivated to get up here because I know there's going to be some people that pop in. I want to say good morning, and it's for my hashtag positive start. If I didn't start, I'd be like, oh, I should have got that broadcast out, and moaning and groaning and stuff like that. So I'm an hour late, but I still got it done. As far as coming up here saying good morning to you all, as far as that goes. That's what I said to Jim. Okay, let's see, Glick. It's easy to promote something you use. Oh, okay, that's true. Very true. And this is my example. I'm not getting paid, but I love promoting this because it's a great product. And I think you like Death Wish, but you can't drink that much of it.
Full calf, I can only have 1 cup.
Yeah, 1 cup. Yeah, the decaf. The missus doesn't like the decaf. Well, she likes it, but her system can't handle the decaf that much.
Regular calf.
Full
calf.
Oh, regular calf. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm getting all over the place. The regular calf, as far as that goes. So yeah, it is true. It is easy to promote something, and you know, in Helen's case, she's getting all these, but she doesn't. You know. That's interesting with Helen though. PUBG wants to sponsor you. That's cool. I just think that's cool, Helen. You're being offered that. That's good. Regular calf. Tony laughs. Yeah, it's regular calf, not decaf. Lady Leg. Jim in Chicago was having a wobbly moment talking about not streaming anymore because his numbers weren't what he wanted, and I said rediscover doing it just because you exactly, Helen. I don't. You know, Jim, he did get some. He does have some big numbers and stuff. Forget the numbers. I agree. I recognize the numbers. For me, it's not about the numbers. I've always said this is my saying. If I have 1 or 2 people, I'm a great success.
Admit it. You just like to talk.
Yes, I like to talk. She's got it. I like to. There can't be anybody because I know somebody will be clicking on the replay and. That's just ego, the numbers, yes. It's nice to recognize the numbers because the clicks right now, they represent the people that are in the chat. And that's what I say. But I'm not one for the numbers. I've never been for the numbers. Tony's just laughing his ass off. And Lady Leg, haha, I like them. Yeah, I like your missus. She's got a bigger smile than I have on my face right now. And it's directed at me. See, I know what I'm talking about. And Glick, it's all about having fun. I don't pay much attention to numbers unless it's brought. Yeah, and I just look at the what's on the even back in the Haps days I would recognize okay I got this many and stuff like that. But I think they were a little skewed. But it's not about the numbers. Jim, he was up there. I've seen. I don't watch him on a regular basis, but Jim in Chicagoland, a broadcaster from Haps. I knew him from Haps. I know he's on TikTok. I know he comes on Helen's broadcast on Twitch, as far as that goes with the music. Jukebox. what's that jukebox? What did I say? Helen, help me out here. Jukebox. And Helen, Glick has the same thing. He has the same problem, Rich. I just like to enjoy the talk. Yeah, but you talk really. You're marathon material there, Glick. You go 3-4 hours, man. Let's see. Jukebox jury. Yeah, okay. Jim in Chicago is a frequent guest on Helen's show here on Twitch. Jukebox jury, and they get which is great. She promotes the not the real high end musicians, but some other up and coming musicians and stuff like that, which is good. Let's see. Click. Some people get fixed on them. Yeah, Michael Bathurst used to talk. He always talked about it. He was consumed with numbers, but that's Michael. That's his gig. I don't worry about it. I'll just tell him I'm not worried about it. They don't impress me. The numbers don't impress me. I've even heard comments that there's some individuals that said they made me, and I said, how did they made me? I've been up here for a couple of years and stuff before they even, I'm just jokingly saying that. Wink, wink, Tony. You know what I'm talking about. When somebody says, well, I helped you get those numbers. Now, the only person I can say that helped me here on Twitch that I know for a fact was Chris Tech. I'll give him a shout out. He's worth a shout out. Chris Tech, wink, wink, and he knows what I'm talking about. Helen, I used to laugh at him and tell him the numbers mean nothing without engagement. Exactly. Glick to Lady Leg, Helen. Numbers don't mean if you don't put quality content. Yeah, you got to have the quality, and that's a good opinion there. I agree with that. That's my opinion also, Glick. You have to have. I can, like the missus said, I can sit up here and I can talk for a good solid hour because I'm presenting something. I like to present something. This morning coffee broadcast has evolved to where it's a discussion with the people in the chat. These are people, for the people watching on the replay. I have my certain things that I have to present, but when I'm talking to these individuals, I like, by talking to them, I'm promoting them because they're good people to follow and to look for here on Twitch. And it's a discussion, and that's interesting. That's always interesting to see what other people's views are on certain things. And let's see, Lady Lake to nonsensical nonsense. Well, anyone can buy number. Yeah, and I think in some cases I've seen that. The numbers of people who have thousands of bots on their accounts just to boost up the egos and saying, and that's for to get the sponsorships too, probably. I love the engagement and being able to get our chatterbox involved, as well as keeping replay listens engaged. Yes, and the replay, and this is something bad. People, you get more on the replays because people see that they have more time and it's at their convenience. There's a lot of people. When I used to do this real early, when I was, before I go into work, into the day job, it got me to get up, do a 30-minute bit, and I wouldn't have anything, as far as numbers, but the numbers indicated there was people that, and that's a measuring stick, and that's all I'm doing is the numbers to me are no different than this right here, than these things right here. These are measuring sticks. These are rulers. That's all numbers are to me. It's a measuring stick as far as that goes. Helen, to be honest, numbers came so easy on Periscope. I didn't even try. And had 16,000. How many of those were bots too? There's a lot of bots. Well, we might be able to see that again, Helen, because Periscope is going to be coming back from what Elon was saying. He probably wants to change Twitter Live back to Periscope because he does. I think he really doesn't want that word Twitter out there on the product anymore. So he'll probably be. I think it's even more so that Periscope would come back. Yesterday on Tony's broadcast, we had Michael Bathurst pop in. And he said, hey, you guys need to come over to Twitter Live. I think Twitter Live's days are numbered where Periscope will be coming back. That's just my prediction, my opinion. I'll make that prediction right now. Helen, now I'm started all over from scratch again, one person at a time. Slow, very slow, but if one person discovers something new, song or artist, then I'll succeed. And yeah, then you'll succeed. That's the whole purpose. And you're having fun doing that. You have a passion for that, Helen, and that's the bottom line. I don't think anybody will argue with that. I'm starting from scratch again on Periscope. Yeah, that'll be interesting thing. I think that's going to be the next interesting to see when that if that if it gets rolled out. I'm pretty sure it will be, because if Elon's saying he's doing something, he's going to do it, I guess. And so it's his sandbox. So I'd be willing to see it come back. I'd like to see it. Twitter Live, when it first started, it was crap. It's gotten better over the years. And then they had the Twitter Spaces. Not a fan of Twitter Spaces as far as that goes. And I just forgot something. I forgot to do something. I'll do it when I get off the broadcast. I gotta just mental note here. So it'll be interesting to see about Periscope as far as that goes. Periscope's best thing was the map and discoverability. Yeah, the map though, when it first came out, Helen, I'll have to say it got very intrusive. It got right down to where you could go right to the person's house. I think I think it goes down to where the general town, not the street and house. Nothing else has beat that so far. No, well, I would say I was on Periscope. I like Periscope, but I tell you, Blab, it's always been my favorite. Periscope was good. Okay, it came out after Blab was going down the downhill as far as that goes, and Periscope. I was on Periscope. I like the audio guests that you could have in. That was a good aspect of it and stuff like that. But there is quite a bit of nastiness though, as far as that goes. But if you controlled it right from the get-go, it's just like here on Twitch. Twitch, you have a lot of I've had my share of very vicious attacks as far as that goes. I mean, the discoverability. Yes, I agree. Yes, Twitter Spaces. No, it's a good product. Nothing else beat that. Yes, I see where you're coming from. Glick, I throw show on Periscope, but I won't try too hard to grow it. I'm growing too many platforms solo as it is. Yeah. I'm all over on the posting. I'm going to be coming back on Twitter X. I'm over there on Truth Social. I'm over on IG Threads, Gitter, Gab. What's that other one? T2 Social. Yeah, T2 Social. I'm trying to get on Blue Sky. I haven't gotten I sent for an invitation. That's still invitation only. And then I'm on Facebook. But you're right, Helen says. Near the end, people were savages. Yeah, and that's just like any platform too, Helen. But you can control it. There's mechanisms to control it, and eventually, you get, if you block on enough bots. I used to have that here on Twitch. I get all the bot, and I just made it a point to not wait, but as soon as the broadcast is over, go over in another screen, block. And eventually doing that, I don't have that many. I did have here recently, I think it was last month, a very vicious attack that I don't have, let's say Twitter started, Twitch blocked it where it came up in the chat for the broadcaster. And I'm thinking, they're trying to say that? And I'm like, Twitch was asking me, do you want this to be posted in your chat? And I'm like, whoa, I'm glad they have that. I said, no. And then as soon as the broadcast, I think during the broadcast, I blocked the individual and banned him. It's like, that's an automatic block and banned. And let's see, Glick, I never had too many issues with drama or trolls on Periscope. It wasn't until Haps when all of the, I don't think it was trolls on Haps. It was just there were certain people. And there's a certain person that me and Helen know for a fact that she was off the frickin' chart. Oh my God. That frickin' Rose. Oh my God. I wanted to just reach through and grab. No, I shouldn't say that. It's just, Helen, I'm not joining anything else. I'm trying to reduce my apps, not increasing them. I'm not interested in collecting people. I don't need all that quality, quality, not quantity. Yes, that's a good way. That's a good formula. And Glick, I just have the three big socials, Facebook and X. Yeah, that's all you really need for right now. But I'm on those other ones just to check them out and see. Like I think I have less than 100 on Gitter, less than 100 on Gab, Facebook. The Real Fireman Rich on Facebook. I think that just topped over 100. You know, it's there. Okay, Helen to Glick, nonsensical nonsense. Mate, don't get me started. I could write a book, and honestly, I'm sick of those closest to me not having my. Well, yeah, that's okay. Glick, she still is, and she has been since Periscope. The person. Oh, okay. We're talking about the road. Okay, yeah. I just mentioned. I don't want to talk. I don't want to get a discussion about it. You guys know what I'm talking about. So it just we have those type of individuals that they're not worth your time. You just move on. I mean, that's the one. I can remember that individual. I'll tell a quick story. And I know Tony. I've told you. He's heard this before. That individual was on Michael Bathurst's broadcast, and I went off on. And I think you might have been on that broadcast too, where I just went off the charts. I mean, I was yelling and screaming, and I just remember looking. Michael Bathurst's eyes just went up like Rich's. You know, and basically telling him, you know, you got too emotionally involved to where I look back on that. That's one of my. Perhaps that was one of my bad moments. I guess I just like that's not what social media and these platforms are supposed to be about. I'm not, to ridicule, even, I wish that person the best and stuff, but I agree with, well, I'm not sure if a waste of oxygen. The individual, there's no fixing stupid, I guess I say. My version of waste of oxygen, there's no way, you can't fix stupid. That's my version of that, Glick, as far as that goes, because the individual, it's just, it's interesting to know what other people are doing, what other people are saying, and you after so much time, and we had a lot of time over it on Haps, we knew when someone was bullshitting us. As far as that goes, you didn't have to be a rocket scientist to see it, and if you did let them bullshit you, then you were dumber than a box of rocks. As far as that goes, because there was one person over there that I remember that he disguised himself as his brother, and he said he died, his brother died, and he faked his own death or something. It's like, that's the epitome. You're a dirt. Well, I don't think the person had his head screwed up, and I can say the same thing about some other people. Helen to Glick, you are correct, and it will cost and destroy real relationships with those who genuinely care about and love them. Yeah, agree. I've lost my cool a couple times. Yeah, and that's what it is. You don't want to lose your cool. It's hard to do, Glick. I know what you're saying there and stuff, because depending on your audience, and then look back at it and feel like and that's how I felt about my Haps incident. I felt like a complete ass. I mean, for me, it's a learning experience. I'll look back at that, and it keeps me on the straight and narrow when I'm doing now. If I'm going to go off the chain, and I've had my moments here on Twitch, and I brought myself back down. But if I'm going to go that much off, I'm not even going to broadcast. As far as that goes. Oh, I have a very finely tuned bullshit radar. Unfortunately, I like that bullshit radar. I like that term. Unfortunately, it takes everyone else much longer to catch up, and for the penny to drop. Yes, exactly. It hurts. And then James Price, over there in the UK, the fake death thing rings a bell. That was on Haps. I imagine they probably have done it on YouTube, but it was on Haps, James. It was an individual there that, there was some real characters over there on Haps. Some of them were fun. You knew they were bullshitting in a fun way, like Bannerman. Bannerman was all right, but then he was doing some things that were a little sketchy as far as when it came, the people that did things with money, I don't know. I don't know. The fake death thing rings a bell. Okay, that's that. And Tony saying hi to James. But yeah, that was the epitome of. Yeah, I mean, that was worse than some of the stuff the Rose did. Well, no, I think it was almost equal because they were both, and they're not worth talking about. It's good to briefly mention it for an example, but I don't want to discuss about it because then you're giving those individuals airspace, and I don't, and what it. Oh, and that's where it comes back to what Glick was saying. They're not worth the oxygen. They're not worth the airtime. I like that now. We're not worth the oxygen. They're not worth the time as far as to talk about. Because I want to talk about you guys. I want to talk about. I love talking about Tony. We had a great time yesterday. His broadcast, the football. What is it? God, I lose track of it. I got it here. Oh, what do we got here? It sure does. That's what I keep my defenses up on circles. The Bell Kings, the Bell King Fantasy Football. That was a fantastic. I mean, even afterwards, me and Tony afterwards was just talking a few. We both had the same feeling. It was a good broadcast yesterday. That's why I felt compelled to put it up on audio. I mean, you could tell that we were having fun talking about football. And when I just listened to the audio, I sound pretty good. Getting a big head now, even though I have a big head anyway. But no, we had fun, and that's the key. That's the bottom line on everything for me on there. And as far as having fun, and it's worth the time and effort to put that up there and to promote Tony because he's a good friend, just like Ted Hicks is, Helen, Glick. I get to know them more, and I appreciate you more. Let's see, Lady Leg, Helen. I think people were going through a lot mental health. Yeah, there was a lot of mental health issues. It was strange times, pandemic. Yeah, the pandemic. Yeah, walls closing in, so to speak. Maybe I'm being too kind. No, you're just saying what it was and stuff like that. That thing about the pandemic, the 2 years at the day job. There was nobody at my site. Normally at my site, there's close to 25 to 3,000 people. There was actually nobody. It was less than 100 for a year and a half there because of the pandemic. That's how it was like a ghost town. It was eerie. And it didn't set well with a lot of us as far as that goes. It was like, geez, we're still here? I missed it yesterday. I'm going to try and make more appearances this season on the Vanity. Oh, okay, yeah, Glick. That was just a spur of the moment. It wasn't scheduled and stuff like that. So, but it just, just as sort of the preseason going in and stuff like that. We're talking the big stuff. The big thing about the football is Burrows being down with a foot injury. I didn't know about that until just before Tony. I was looking at the headlines as far as what am I going to talk about. And James going to Helen makes sense, and Helen goes to nonsensical nonsense. Agree. I know a lot of people, but if I call someone a friend, it means something. All my friendships in real life are decades old. There's a reason for that. Yes. Let's see. And Click says exactly, and Lady Leg says we tolerate too much shit online that we would never tolerate in real world. Initially we tolerate it, but then we adjust and we turn it off, Helen. That's the way I look at it, because like I said, the things I just mentioned about the Haps thing, about those drama people and stuff, you got to remember those, because then it gives you strength to I mean, I learned a lot. I mean, I was a dumbass before Haps on trolls and stuff like that, going through that thing. I didn't even realize until I had that blowout that I said that was my turning point. There, it's like, what the frick am I doing? That wasn't, it definitely wasn't fun. And I just remembered the expression on Michael. He's like, is Rich really doing? I mean, shocked the hell out of him as far as going off, because I think. And those are those moments that we don't really, you look back on it, if you can walk away with them as a learning experience, but I'm still embarrassed by the fact that you guys all forgot, which, okay, that's great, but I still remember. I won't forget it. Let's see, Glick. Yeah, I heard he went down, and now since since he is no, I think they hired somebody, but we brought up the aspect there, Glick, that don't they already have a backup quarterback? You know, usually there's a backup quarterback. They went out and got somebody. He's from the XFL, which is a good place to get somebody from. But I think it's a minor. No, I don't think he's going to be out for a while. From what me and Tony were talking about, he's going to be missing several weeks. It might go into the first week or two. So time will tell. Time will tell. He's being evaluated. Helen or click to Helen. I have no tolerance for dumb people in real life or online. Yeah, I agree with that. What's that?
Are we walking? Are you gonna be a while?
Yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit, and then we can walk afterward. No.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay. So we just see.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm running late, and usually we'd be done walking by now. A morning walk here. James Salady, but it's easy to block people online. Harder if you have an ad for a neighbor. Oh, that's true. You can't change your neighbors where you can block people or the office at work to deal with. Yeah, that's a whole different animal, James. I agree. Not everyone. Some people keep themselves around for some kind of weird, misguiding ego boost. Some people need to collect people for affirmation, even if negative. Yeah, that's true, Helen. Some people need everyone to like them, even if okay. Yeah, they got it back up, but Joe B is a franchise. Oh yeah, he's a franchise guy. I definitely. But I was just surprised hearing about that because it's just it happened in practice. So anything can happen in practice. And James goes to Helen, true, and Helen comes back to James, that's true. But also some people say stuff offline they would never say to your face in fear. Well, that's real life too. I mean, I had that at work. I mean, I've had some issues with some coworkers and stuff like that, and I even caught myself saying some stuff off the beaten path of the individual and stuff like that. But then, in one case in particular, we shook hands and we just like we were good friends after that, stuff like that. Just like one of those things. It's just once you understand where the other person's coming from and stuff, and whatnot, that it just and it's in real life. I think online it magnifies it so much more because there's an audio, there's a text, there's a video of the person saying that and stuff like that. There's a transcript in my case that I wish I never saw, but it's certain indications that he's like, oh, okay, this is what the person really is like. So you adjust your life and you deal with it and you put it off to the side and you move forward. That's my philosophy. You can't forget it though. And I know Helen will agree with that. You do not forget it as far as that goes. And when it's up down that level of extreme, you do not forget it at all as far as that goes. Helen, I honestly have very few problems in the real world. I generally respect. Not everyone will like me, but they will respect me. And I'm a strong believer that you respect you. That respect is very important to me because both Tony and me being in the military, that's a big deal. That respect. I can't explain what that respect level. I can express it, and you can see it in my eye because military respect. When you respect somebody in the military, I mean, you could be on two opposite sides of the political form, but when military respect, once you lose that, you lost everything. And my respect is based off of that. The 20 years I spent in the United States Air Force and stuff. And respect is very important as far as that goes. You earn respect, you gain respect. When you have that person, when you give respect, but you don't get it back, that's something. It's crazy how far a simple conversation. Yes, exactly, Glick, exactly. I mean, And I'm a strong believer. That people take too much emphasis on what's posted in the chat, and they take it out of context in some cases. Where video, like over on Haps, we saw it on video. Video is a whole different ballgame. That's a whole different animal. But someone can change someone's perspective on someone else, and people are able to get petty, past the petty and other. Yeah, look, people online don't even have respect for themselves, let alone it. Well, I think that's an individual. Yeah, you can. That's why I say they're dumber than a box of rocks. This basically that's encompassing that aspect as far as respect for them. They don't care. And Helen, yep, that too. Being respectful, but being courteous is disrespectful is very wearing. It grinds you down. Yes, respect is even someone that's being disrespectful to me. I try and show kindness, wish them the best, and move on. I'm not gonna bring up, like we mentioned about some Haps people and stuff like that. Okay, I just put it in half. Those are learning experiences. I'm not going to dwell on it. They're funny now when I look back, but I still remember them. Especially there's a few individuals like there's no way I would deal with these people in real life. So why should I deal with them online? And as far as that goes, James, I've always remembered the basement troll on South Park who looked on the kids. Exactly, the South Park trolls. That's a good point, James. I know people. I got some looks at work the first time I said, yeah, I love South Park, and everybody's looking at me like, what the frick are you watching, Rich? It's funny, right? But image keeps those people around you daily. It's mental. Yes, I agree. It's mental. But the respect thing, I can't speak enough of it as far as that goes. Let's move on to I love South Park. That was my jam. You like South Park too? I love it. They're funny. The missus looks at me like, what the freaking crap are you watching now? I look at it this way. If don't like me, keep scrolling. If you got a problem, voice it to me, not behind. Yes, right in front. I'd rather take it full blunt. Tell me right to the face and I'll tell you back. But when you hear this side shit, and that's what it is crap, I agree. And Helen agrees 100%. Let's get on to what happened on this day. Let's see. Geez, we've been talking. Oh man, oh my God, I'm doing a nonsensical nonsense podcast here. I'm going on past an hour and a half, guys. Oh my God. Let's see real quick here on history. At the end of the European tour in 2012 on this day, Bruce Springsteen played his longest show to date. 4 hours and 6 minutes long he played. That was over there in Europe, the European tour. Let's see, in 2007, the presence of the British Army in Northern Ireland, the longest running British Army operation ever, came to an end on this day back in 2007. Thank God. There's too much death and destruction during the 60s and 70s up there in Northern Ireland, Belfast especially. Talking shit behind people's backs, but then those who claim to care about hanging out with and chatting shit with those people. Yeah, that's true, Helen. Bruce don't have anything nonsensical. That's a short show. Yeah, exactly. That's a short 4 hours. Yeah. Marathon mode. Yeah, hashtag marathon mode for Bruce Springsteen. I love his music. I don't agree with him on other stuff, but he is a good songwriter and stuff. American swimmer Michael Phelps back in 2012 broke a record held for 48 years by a Russian gymnast. A Russian gymnast. When he won the 19th, the number of Olympic medals. A Russian gymnast, when Michael Phelps won his 19th Olympic medal, the most any athlete in history. What a swimmer. Man, he was a fish and a half. 32 years ago today, U.S. President George H.W. Bush and Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev signed the historical Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty. back in 1991, known as START. It reduced the country's stockpiles of nuclear warheads by about 1/3 following a long period of mistrust and known as the Cold War years. And I don't know if we're going back to that. I saw that strategic arm reduction limitation take place firsthand. When that took place, I was going into the job the next day. When I remember seeing that in the news, Phelps was a menace in the water. That dude, yes, he was. He was out. He was a rocking. But this strategic arms reduction, I was stationed at McConnell Air Force Base. I went into work that morning. That took place 32 years ago on this day in 1991. That was a Saturday. It was announced. Okay, it took place. Had significance that when I went into the I was a firefighter in the Air Force, so I was on the flight line. I was on 24-hour duty that next day. As soon as we got in, they were scrambling around because we had to get the fire trucks out on the flight line. They were reducing the number of nukes that were underneath the in the B-1s. They were doing convoys. They were downloading some of the bombers. They're standing down. They have a number of bombers. I can't say what number they were there. Unless you were there, you could see them from a distance. But they took several B-1 bombers. They took the line items, which are the nukes, down, and when they're transporting them, the flight line is closed, secured, and they're going to what's called a WSA, a weapons storage area. So I saw firsthand 32 years ago that reduction of nuclear, because it took place the next day, right after it was signed. We were out there for like good 12 hours on standby, watching, because it does, they have several items, but it takes a long time. It's a very precise thing and very secured measure, and that was a moment in history that I actually saw it happen. They were moving these line items, these nukes, back into the WSA in the storage. They weren't on bombers that could take off in less than 5 minutes. Let's see, Gorbachev and Reagan did some good work together. Yes, I agree with that, James. Definitely. Remembering the thing about George H.W. Bush, a lot of people don't realize how much of a war hero he was. He got shot down just before we invaded Iwo Jima. They were bombing an island just right near Iwo Jima called Chichijima. It was a radio compound for the Japanese Navy, I guess. And he got shot down. He almost got captured by the Japanese. He was right off a beach. He was right off the beach, maybe 100 meters, and they were coming out to get him. And then there was a Navy sub that popped up, rescued him. And if he would have got captured, he would have been beheaded. They beheaded 9 pilots before that. It's recorded in a book called Flyboys by James Bradley. I read that book, and in that book, it actually revealed it. And to his presidency, even though he was a president, the information of those pilots being executed being beheaded by the Japanese was so gross back there. They kept it classified, and it wasn't until that book came out that that's when President H.W. Bush found out. He was a war hero. I never found that out. I knew he flew airplanes as a Navy aviator, but he was shot down. He was almost captured by the Japanese. I read that in this book called Flyboys, a fantastic book. I have a copy of the book, a fantastic book by James Bradley, the author. When I read that, I'm like, oh my God. But people remember the downfall of President H.W. Bush getting a second term was he said, "Watch my lips, no new taxes." But he had no choice. He had to raise taxes. Actually, it was Congress that raised. He had no choice. He had to sign it because of the situation back then. But President George H.W. Bush, I thought he was a great president. He was a good president. Even though he was former director of CIA. Let's see, James, yes, to Lady Leg and James. Lady Leg to James. Okay, you just gave away your age. age is whatever. Yeah. Let's see. Now, my dad used to play it. Oh, what did? Oh, let me back up. What did James play? Oh, Lady Lake. Remember that Frankie goes to Hollywood Video for the two tribes with Gorbachev and Reagan in a wrestling ring. Oh, okay. That's what you're talking about. Yeah. I remember that. So that's my age. Okay. I remember it. Let's see. And James, I was born. Okay. You're born in the 60s, 64. Well, I was about 6 years old then in 64. 7 years old. So I'm a little older than James, I guess. But Ronald Reagan, though, was a great president. George H.W. Bush was his vice president for 2 terms, and then he became president. He should have. Well, he should have. I don't know. I would have liked to see him, but Bill Clinton beat him out. Bill Clinton's presidency, his first term was good. His second term was crap. That's when he had the Lewinsky thing there. Let's see. What else do we have in history? God, and I'm going to go 2 hours here. God, this has got to be the longest. It's a chat, too. I'm not blaming the chat. I love the chat. That's just trying to figure out why did we went. Well, it doesn't help me be going that long. Let's see. On this day, also in 1777, during the Revolutionary War, Lafayette, a 19-year-old French nobleman, was made a major general in the American Continental Army, and he was very instrumental in the latter stages of the Revolutionary War. On this day in 1971, Apollo 15 crew member David Scott, James Irwin became the first astronauts to use a lunar rover on the surface of the moon. They drove the rover. Remember that, James? I know you're into that. And that's about it for history for that. James, do you know the song "Born in the '50s" by the British band The Police? You know, I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to look that up on YouTube after the broadcast. I love The Police. The Police is one of my favorite groups, as far as that goes. "Born in the '50s." I'll have to. No, the title, but I'll probably listen to it and I'll probably remember it. And Lady Lake, she was 3. I love The Police. Yeah, Police is one of my favorite. My favorite group is Kansas, and then the Cars. The Police is right there at third. My 2 favorite, because I saw Kansas and I saw the Cars both in concert, and they were great. This is up in Boston. I saw them both in concert. Actually, I saw Kansas in concert several years back right here. They actually came to Tioga County, Kansas. It was great. I was right up front. Oh my God, it was great. Check it out. I will check it out afterwards. Let's see. What's that called? Born in the '50s. Born in the '50s. The Police. Yeah. If I'm writing it on the pad, James, that tells you I'm going to be looking at it. YouTube. I'll check YouTube. There we go. Thank you. Always like a good song. The band, not the organization. Yeah, I'm talking about the band too, The Police. All the ones you mentioned, but Foreigner's good. Foreigner's, they're right up there too. I like Foreigner. Foreigner's a great group as far as that goes. In baseball, the Yankees had a little problem with the Baltimore Orioles. They played last Thursday where they lost 0-1. I was reminded of that at the barbecue Saturday. Because my sister-in-law's, the Mrs.'s older sister's husband, mentioned that. He's a big-time Orioles fan. But the Yankees came back to win Saturday 8-3, and then Sunday they lost. Where'd they lose? 9-3. So the Orioles swept the series. Did the Mets play yesterday? Yeah, they played the Nationals. They beat the Nationals yesterday, and on Saturday, I don't know if they played. Yeah, they played, but they lost. So what did they do Friday? Did they play on Friday? They probably split that series. But anyway, that's baseball. Canadian football. I did watch. I did watch Canadian football on Saturday night. I watched the. Let's see, which game did I watch? I watched the tail end of the Tiger Cats and the Redbacks. The Tiger Cats actually won 16-12, and then the Argonauts, they played. Or no, it was Sunday or Saturday. I watched the Rough Riders play the Argonauts. They won 31-13, so they're undefeated. And then I watched a little bit of the Lions beat up on the Elks, which are undefeated on the other side. So Canadian football is still going. This Thursday is the start, like I have mentioned before, that the 2023 NFL preseason starts Thursday, August 3rd at 8 p.m. It's going to be the New York Jets against the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to be watching that. Tony's got to work, so I know he's going to be probably watching the box scores on his because he's a Jet fan, and I'm going to be rooting for the Jets. Ted, if you're still here, I might be listening and watching your late night parenting, but I'll be watching the Jets. Hopefully, they win that preseason. Well, yesterday on Tony's broadcast, and we talked about it a little bit on the guest stars broadcast that I had. But on Tony's broadcast, I expressed that the one thing is Aaron Rodgers going to play, and Tony says he will, and I even if he plays a quarter or something like that, I want to see how he plays with the Jets and stuff like that. So the first impression is going to be a good impression. My Reds are in first place. Love base. Yeah, I haven't really been looking too much at that division there, Glick, but I do see the Reds. They're pounding it out on the field, and go Brown. We'll see about the Browns. It's preseason, so it doesn't matter who wins or lose. I'm there to watch the players and stuff. It's they're gonna feel so preseason. I don't look at it seriously with the win and loss and stuff. Regular season, that counts. Preseason, though, we're gonna see it's a shakedown of the players and stuff like that. So, but with that. We've been on we're coming up in an hour and 55 minutes. Oh my God. Browns and Jets play each other in regular season as well. Yeah, that's the one thing we talked about, Glick, Tony and I, and Tony's really concerned about this. And I know he's probably expressed it over there on Nonsensical Nonsense. That's the Jets schedule. The Jets schedule is brutal, and that's an understatement. It's brutal as far as that goes. But we'll see. It's just that I said this yesterday. Had the NFL, I watched USFL, and then I watched XFL, and then Canadian football brought me into the preseason. So it's even with preseason, as far as I'm concerned, the NFL is starting. Okay, it's the Browns' first 5 games are going to be held. Oh, the Browns have a rough schedule too. Yeah. Browns and Jets play each other. James says divorce incoming. Oh. No, I'm allowed to watch. Actually, it gives her time to read her books and stuff like that. I watch, if the game is good, I'm going to watch it, but if the game's going to crap, I turn it off. It's the same thing with baseball as far as that goes. If I'm really into the game and there's some meaning behind the game. Preseason, we'll see. I'm real curious if I'm going to watch the whole game. It depends on the beat, because it's preseason. But for the football, the NFL football aspect, is see how Aaron Rodgers plays, making that. I was referring to the long stream. Oh, the long. No. She's already gave me permission, James. I'm not worried about that. I got the green light. I'm good, because we both woke up late, so our schedules are a little off and stuff. And by now we'd be back from our walk, and she'd have my corner here. This is my corner where I have good game. You like that, James? Yeah, I know. But we are at the end. I'm gonna punch the outro music here, and we're gonna get our day started. It's already started. We already had a positive start today. Positive hashtag PSTTD. I want to say a very, very much thank you to the following. I want to say thank you to Tony D, my friend, my brother veteran. Thank you, Tony D, for being here. I want to say thank you to. How come this doesn't go up all the way? Oh wow, that's different. I didn't know that. Thank you. Hold on, let me see. Did this go all the way up? What's going on here? What's going on? Let me check this out. Hang on, we're getting situated here, folks. Oh, that doesn't want to go up either. Let's see. Let's do it this way. I know this will work. This will work. This will give me the list of people. I want to say thank you to Tony T, Tony D, Tony Tone 72. I want to say thank you to. What if I got Thammer? Thank you, Thammer, for popping in, coming in from Riyadh. Thank you, Glick, from Nonsensical Nonsense Podcast. Thank you, Ted Hicks. Thank you very much, coming in from Long Island. Thank you very much, Helen. You always are welcome here in the chat. Thank you very much. I always love the chat that we have and your perspective on things. I greatly appreciate it, Helen. Thank you very much. Okay, you have a great day. Thank you for being here. Lady Leg 01 here on Twitch. Check her out on her broadcast, Jukebox Jury. And what else do we have on the list there? We had a long discussion. I want to say thank you to James. James, thank you very much, coming in from the UK. And James Price, Aviation, he does the flying bit here on Twitch. I want to say thank you very much. And you guys are great. I love this. This is probably one of the best broadcasts. So it was worth coming up a bit late as far as we had a great discussion. For the people watching on the replay, if you watched all 2 hours of it, that's where we're coming up. We're coming up on the 2 hour mark. Thank you very much. This is one of my longest broadcasts, and I had a ball, folks. I'm just jabbing away, jab, 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 jab. And I really appreciate it. It means a lot. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. And you all have a great day wherever you are. Let's see. Let's see, Tony coming in with the Bazanga. Helen coming in with have a superb day, folks. Yes, have a great day. Have a great day too, James. Everyone else, enjoy your Monday. Hopefully, we'll see you all tonight. Okay, Nonsensical Nonsense podcast tonight at 7 Eastern. Thank you, Glick. And with that, this is Rich Roberts, Fireman Rich, wishing you all well. We're going to start that again. Start that again. I gotta have the outro music. See, I'm even long on the outro music on this broadcast. Oh my God. It just took us over the 2 hour mark. But anyway, this is Rich Roberts. Bring it down, Rich. I'm hearing the missus. Bring it down, Rich. This is Rich Roberts, Fireman Rich, here on the Twitch. Fireman Rich over there on Truth Social. Fireman Rich over there on Instagram Threads. Fireman Rich on X, Twitter X. I'll be coming back to Twitter X on Thursday. Okay, turn the music down. Oh, it's the music. I got it down. Okay, thank you, Helen. It's louder than you are. Okay, yeah, that's just because of the way it's wired there. Thank you, Helen. But maybe I turn the mic up a little bit there. I'll turn the mic up where I'm in the yellow now on the meter. I don't like going in the yellow. But Rich Roberts, wishing you all well. Thank you again, all in the chat. Greatly, greatly appreciated as far as that goes. Thank you very much. But you all have a great day wherever you may be. Okay, better? Okay, let me look at the thing. Okay, thank you, Helen. Thank you. I always want, because I'll explain later next time. It's wired a little bit different. I don't have a control of the volume. It's the music is coming off of the iPad mini. Sound perfect now. Okay, so right there and that, and then after I'm done talking, I can turn it up. That's the broadcaster in Helen. Thank you, Helen. I'm learning. But Rich Roberts, Fireman Rich on all those fine social media networks. You can check me out there. But I'm here on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm Fireman Rich over there on Spotify for podcasters, the formerly known platform as Anchor, doing the the Fireman Rich audio podcast. I appreciate it. And those people that are watching this on the replay, thank you very much. Thank you very much as far as that over there on Rumble and YouTube. But with that, I want to say you all have a great day today. We're starting a new week, working towards the weekend. And this is Rich Roberts saying, live life, have fun. Ciao for now. As always, peace. Take care, folks. And again, thanks again, all in the chat. Bazanga!